I've been running several lasers for several years now without a camera, but my new Aeon Nova 14 has one pre-installed right here, and you guys have been asking me to show you how to use it, so ask and you shall receive. Hey Maker, Emily here, otherwise known as That Mom with a Laser and the brand ambassador for Aeon Laser USA. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to set up your LightBurn camera and how to use it. This video is going to be helpful for anybody who needs to set up their LightBurn camera. It doesn't matter if you have the same brand of laser as I do, because setting it up is pretty much universal for all LightBurn users. With that said, if you have a new Aeon laser and you got it in March of 2024 or after, you don't need to calibrate it at all, and you can skip over to the part where I show you how to actually use the camera. So are you ready? Let's go. Before we get started, I do just want to point out that if you are following this guide and you don't have the same laser that I have, this is still going to be helpful. I just want you to know that you can find instructions right on the LightBurn website. So if you go to Docs and you type in camera, it's going to take you right to the camera section where it shows you installation, calibration, alignment, all those things. So in this video, you're going to see me choose my camera, and you are also going to see me put in settings. You can find yours for your laser here with the LightBurn setup guide. If you have an Aeon like I do, go to the Aeon site and go to the knowledge base and type in the keyword camera. Oh, I can't spell. Camera. And you'll find the LightBurn setup guide right here. It's practically the same thing, but they'll tell you specifically which camera you need for yours and the settings that you'll see me get to shortly. So without further ado, let's go ahead and set up the camera. All right, so I'm in LightBurn. I'm gonna go ahead and turn on my laser and then start getting everything up and running. I do need to make sure I'm connected, so I'm gonna go to devices. I have a couple of different lasers that are connected to this computer, so I'm gonna make sure I am connected there. Okay, so it's ready, and now I can go ahead and calibrate the camera. So I'm gonna go to, oh, that looks funky. Laser tools, calibrate camera lens. In here, I'm going to select LightBurn camera. I'm going to do standard lens, and for the Aeon Nova, it's 8MPW95. So whatever laser you're using, you want to make sure that you know which of these you need to select, and they might look different. This is just how they look for me. Okay. So I see a camera view, but it's black. I think I put the little cap on it. Hold on. Awesome. So if your screen is black, it's because there's a little, camera cover right here. So, all right. So now I can go to next. And we're going to align the camera. All right. Now that I'm here, I'm going to follow the instructions, and I'm going to input the settings that was suggested on the Aeon site that I just showed you. So for me, I'm going to find that right here. Okay, but if you're not using an Aeon, just follow what LightBurn has set for you as an example, okay? I don't think it's cutting, but I mean, I haven't done this test before. It looks like it's just engraving and there's no cut, so if your laser has a solenoid in it and you know that by toggling air off, that means it's not gonna turn off the air entirely, it's just gonna lower it, then it's fine to leave it off. If you don't know the answer to that question, just leave it on, okay? Although I can confirm if you have an Aeon laser, you do have a smart solenoid and it will lower the air. I'm not trying to confuse you, but I just want you to know that if you have an Aeon, it's safe to have air off when you're engraving, okay? But for everybody else, if you don't know, just leave it on. It's not a big deal. Okay, so now I need to click the frame button to ensure that the material is positioned correctly. I didn't place the material, so I'm gonna go do that. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn on my exhaust system, make sure that, I'm gonna exhaust the fumes properly, and I'll push start. Okay, so now it's running the job. A word of advice, don't use your good material for this. Use scrap material or, something that's less expensive. That's why they're saying, use paper or cardboard or thin wood. Don't use your good material if you don't have to. Okay, it's done running the job, so let's just move on to the next step here. Now I'm going to open my lid so my camera can look down on my work. Okay, capture image. Once I've captured the image, it's not distorted, I feel that it's good, I'm going to go ahead and zoom in on each target and click in the center of it with my mouse. Now, if you're on a Mac, I'm using 2 fingers to zoom in on the mouse. 2 fingers towards me to zoom out. Then it will zoom in wherever I have my mouse pointing, okay? See that? Double click. Okay. Okay, we're gonna click next. There we go. Looks good. Hopefully I did it well enough. Click next. You're done. Press finish. Okay, so now, see, I don't have the camera set up on my my panel here on the right, so I'm going to go to Windows and Camera. And see, it popped up right here. Okay, so now right here, I should be able to see the camera, update overlay, trace, save settings. Great. Okay. I've never used a camera in all these years that I've had a laser. I'm honestly a little bit against it because I feel like I get street credit that I don't need a camera. But there you go, guys. Mom has a camera, and if you have one, now you do too. All right, so now that it's set up, let's go ahead and actually put it to use, right? So right here, I have a Valentine's Day file, and I cut out these little hearts, and I cut them out in pink and in blue, right? So I'm gonna go ahead, but they're teeny tiny, right? So even though you can do this without a camera, let's see how the camera would help when you're working with scraps. So I'm gonna head on over to Camera Control, make sure my LightBurn camera is selected. And now I've got to move my gantry out of the way. I'm going to do that. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and put my material down on it. So as you can see, I have the lid up because the camera is right below the lid and it's looking down at the workspace. And I've got these, acrylic pieces, so let's see if we can cut some out. I needed to get it into focus there, so okay. Now I can see my material here. So we're gonna go to Update Overlay. And mind you, I can only get away with doing 2 different colors of acrylic here because the acrylic actually is the same thickness. So if you needed to cut several things like I do, wow, that looks funky and distorted. I don't know if that's gonna work, guys. And my screen's acting all wonky here. See, these are the things that frustrate me, and I'm like, I just don't want the camera. Now, I don't know if I'm gonna have to recalibrate here because look how that looks. Let's test it out, okay? So I'm gonna grab my little hearts here, and I'm gonna zoom in so I can see where this is going, and I wanna get these guys right here. Squish that in. Okay, does that look like I'm clear? Let me move this a little bit. Okay, and I'm gonna do the same thing on this acrylic over here. And I'm gonna squeeze these guys in right there. Okay, so in theory, that's where it's gonna cut it. I'm gonna make sure I have this set to absolute coordinates, so it's gonna cut directly in that spot. And I'm also going to select everything and use cut selected graphics only. All right, otherwise it would also try to cut this up here. Now, because this looks distorted, I don't know if it's really gonna cut accurately, so let's see what happens, okay? I'll go ahead and frame the job. I mean, it looks like it's gonna work, but we'll find out together. Okay, I'm gonna record this with my phone so we can see it. Trace, save settings. All right, ready? Start. Nope, didn't work. So that's telling me I need to recalibrate this thing. All right, so we missed the mark, right? So let's go recalibrate the camera. So this wasn't fun. I had to redo the whole thing. I had to run the engrave again, then mark the center of those targets to recalibrate it. All right, so I've recalibrated it. This looks good. Let's see what the update overlay looks like. All right, that's way better, okay? Not wonky like it was before. So I'm gonna go ahead and give this another shot. All right, let's try this again. Looks like we got it this time. Okay. Much better. All right, there we go. Got my little hearts. Okay, so that worked this time, and now you know what to expect. This was really cool. I very much like the fact that I could use the two different acrylics, and even, you know, they're the same thickness, so as you can see, it cut beautifully with no issue, which is definitely gonna help save time for projects like this where I want varying colors, and I don't have to stop to change out the material. So all in all, you know, I have been kind of anti-camera for a long time, but you guys have convinced me to give it another shot. So with that said, I have actually had a lot of you give me mixed reviews. Some people love it, some people find that it's inaccurate. So I will come back and give you guys an update after more time doing this, but there you go. Now you know how to set up your LightBurn camera and how to use it. Well guys, I hope that was helpful. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit that bell button so you get notifications every time I have a new video. And if you're new to That Mom with a Laser world, make sure you get connected with me in my awesome Facebook group and other places on social media. I'll see you guys around here soon over at That Mom with a Laser. Bye guys.